Hello and welcome to another Star Citizen podcast from me, the lovely BoredGamer, and Zinnia. Say hello, Zinnia.
Hello, Zin.
I've decided, Zin, what we need a name for the podcast. What are we going to call the podcast?
I don't know.
BoredGamer's Fabulous Star Citizen Podcast.
Yes.
Yeah? Or what about just like the best damn Star Citizen podcast ever, full stop?
I wouldn't go that far.
What? But you're allowed to sort of just declare whatever online, aren't you? We could just say the only Star Citizen podcast that you want to hear, just in really tiny little letters. If people got an idea for the name of the podcast, then maybe chuck it down in the comments. That's a good way of getting engagement. The Shillcast. Today we have some stuff that we want to talk about. We've got the ship Showdown. We've got Alpha 3.17.2 improvements that are incoming, hopefully. We've got stuff that I want to talk about with 3.18 and its expanding features, and power relays, and why I'm so excited about them. You know, I sound like such a nerd. I'm such a nerd. But yes, I am actually pretty excited about power relays because they're important. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute, Sin. I want to start with the ship Showdown first, because I remember you being very grumpy, angry, annoyed.
Because it was so successful last year.
Oh, wait, it was successful. It was just a bit polarised. So, the ship Showdown, this just started. Ship Showdown started. Phase 1 ends on the 29th of August. And between now and the 29th of August, you're supposed to make noise about your favourite ship or vehicle. Yeah? Oh, my favourite ship. And then like put hashtags and stuff on it. You can do it on YouTube, you can do it on TikTok, whatever. And then Cloud Imperium get their supercomputer and they crunch all the numbers down and go, the favourite ship was the Argo Cargo. So they basically go through that and they get the top 16 ships for Phase 2. Those then go to head-to-head against each other, those ships, in like a single elimination match. Now, the top 8 of those ships are going to be available for a free fly. So, cool. The sort of some of the most popular ships in game that are flyable. It's all flyable and drivable ships. Nothing concept. They're going to be available for a free fly. Not sure when the free fly is going to be. Not sure if it's going to be for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo or CitizenCon or straight after the ship Showdown. But then the top 4, the final 4 ships, they sort of unlock some skins and flair and a myriad of epic prizes, is what Cloud Imperium have said. Typically to the owners of those ships or people that want to buy those ships at the IAE later in the year in November. You sort of get some extra bits and bobs for them. So it's just it doesn't really mean anything, this sort of thing. It's a community event to judge some of the favourite ships in game and vehicles. So last year was a bit polarised, wasn't it, Sin?
Yes.
And you weren't a fan of the Argo Cargo that won?
No, I don't think it deserved it.
What do you think deserved it? Is it, if you've got one that you think deserved it, or do you think that anything else that wasn't memed to the top?
Yeah, anything else, basically.
No, me and Sin aren't against memes. I like a good meme. Oh, there's that frog character. He's a meme. And there's some people looking for beans at 2 a.m. They're a meme. I've seen memes. I'm such a boomer. So there are some problems with that, though, is that some people take it very seriously. Some people don't take it seriously, too. Some people want to meme stuff. And it's not a big deal. It's supposed to be a bit of fun. It is a bit of fun. However, there are some issues with Phase 1 and 2 that I would just like to get sorted because I like rules, okay? I like rules. So what's actually counted in the sort of make noise phase? If you're making noise about, like, Auroras, if you're making noise about the Aurora LN versus the MR, is that counted as different ships? And does that mean that ships with more variants are effectively going to be less popular in Phase 1? Yeah, do you see what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that like benefits like the Mercury Star Runner, but it does not benefit the Mustang or the Aurora and things like that. And then Phase 2, how do they actually select the matchups against each ship? Is it going to be the Mercury Star Runner versus the Cargo Argo in Phase 1, and the Cargo Argo will just meme win? And I'll be like, well, I think the Mercury Star Runner is sort of like top 4 minimum, in my opinion. I love that ship. It's my favourite ship. So should they then do it like the matchups by class where possible, or seeded sort of least popular versus most popular? I think that actually might work pretty well from Phase 1. something like that. As otherwise, you get some weird ones where two very popular ships might get put together immediately and immediately get put out, and really they should be in the free fly. But that's not really what you were annoyed at, and to some extent I was a bit annoyed at last year. It was the fact that the Cargo Argo, which is not a great ship, that can't really do anything, at least at the moment.
Oh my.
Can you hear that? That's thunder and probably lightning in the background.
Well, I can't hear the lightning.
Do you know what? You can't hear lightning. That's a good point. So that ship sort of got memed to the top where Cloud Imperium, I think Xylo had basically said, I'll eat my hat or something if it wins, and they posted it on social media, and then lots of content creators and other people sort of memed that ship to the top. And that's fine. I mean, that is a way of winning, and people voted, and I'm not going to diminish their votes, and if people want to do that, great. There was a lot of sort of controversy of, did people make a load of accounts and that sort of stuff to then also vote. But I think this year, there's a lot of memes. There's a lot of meme ships. There's the Mule, there's the Cargo Argo, there's the Grey Cat Buggy. And that sort of dilutes the power of the meme somewhat.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a lot of people going, no, the Mule. We'll vote for the Mule. Oh, no, the Cargo Argo still. No, Grey Cat Buggy. Because sort of Grey Cat Buggy, I feel, is almost this year's meme champion. But maybe they should have an entirely different class. Maybe they should go, also, honourable mention, the Grey Cat Buggy at the end. So it's not even a ship, it's a ship showdown. I mean, I'm looking forward to silly buggy kart races.
Are you talking about the PTV?
The Grey Cat Buggy, yeah, the PTV.
The PTV.
Do we have to refer to it as PTV?
Oh, it's called the PTV.
Are we going to lose our Grey Cat sponsorship if I don't call it the PTV?
Yes.
Is that what's going to happen? Okay. Are you excited for the PTV kart races?
Oh yeah, that's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I didn't.
Like
you're being sarcastic.
I didn't. No. I didn't realize I wanted it until somebody they made it a thing, and yeah, now it's a thing, and I want to do it.
I do like the idea of some quick and easy gameplay just to jump into, like some silly stuff to do, like I'm waiting for something, or I just want to jump in and test something random that you can just sort of get to quickly. And the kart racing looks like it might be that, although I suspect there's going to be lots of bugs where I get criminal ratings for driving around the track the wrong way or something. I mean, my ability at legally distinct Mario Kart is criminal anyway, unfortunately. But yeah, so vote for what you want. It's all good. Don't worry, no judgment.
I'll judge you.
Zin will judge you.
What,
and she's allowed
what
to.
you vote, yeah, what you vote on, I will judge your personality based on what you vote.
So your favourite ship's the we said the Cutlass Red. I think we've said a few times.
Yes.
Mine's Mercury Star Runner. I think that just means I'm better than you, right?
Maybe.
Yay! There's also a Star Citizen TikTok now. I don't really understand TikTok because I'm almost 40 years old.
Why?
I don't know. I don't understand. But it's a good way of Star Citizen connecting with the kids. Or, I don't know.
I suppose it is a good way of Star Citizen connecting with the kids.
Perfect. They are. Done. That's what the marketing team said.
I mean, they're certainly not connecting with me via TikTok.
Yeah, that is true. If they start putting exclusive content on there for news and stuff, that will annoy me because I
don't think they will. That would literally be detrimental to them.
Maybe.
You're better off putting it on all platforms.
Yeah, that's probably true. So that's the ship showdown. It's on now. Make some noise about your favourite ship or vehicle by creating videos about them, art about them, posting about them, chatting about them, and get involved and see what happens. Tell us what you think about the ship showdown. Are you sort of like totally fine? Like, yeah, honestly, it's just a bit of a laugh. If people want to meme ships, great, awesome. Or do you like, well, it should be...
What?
If you're feeling that, what? That's my brain thinking about, should I allow meme ships to be in the ship showdown? I mean, vehicles. You go, well, it's a complicated thing because people should vote for whatever they want, and it's a bit of a laugh. But I do take some of this stuff seriously. So, Alpha 3.17.2. It's on the live servers at the moment. There are some problems. There is a problem with zero Alpha UEC again. Lots of people logging in. They've got zero Alpha UEC. Makes them sad. Makes me sad. I haven't had that problem, but makes me sad thinking about other people not being able to spend Alpha UEC when the bug had apparently been fixed. I think it's some back-end service issues. But there are some Siege of Orison improvements coming. There are some 3.17.2 improvements coming. The Cloud Imperium are working on a PTU patch at the moment, on the PTU servers that will be subsumed into the live build probably later this week. Zin, have you experienced any major issues in Siege of Orison or 3.17.2 while playing it over the last couple of weeks?
No, not in the live build.
What about elevator stuff?
Not in the live build.
Not in the live build?
No, we had it on the, I'm pretty sure it was on the PTU. It might have been the very first time we did it on the live, but the elevators would open downstairs for the Crusader showroom, but you couldn't actually pass through the threshold.
Oh, yeah, there was like 2 elevators and or invisible elevator doors or something. Yeah. I remember that.
But I can't remember if that was PTU or live. I think it might have been PTU, and I've not had it since.
The only problem I've had in the 3.17.2 build is elevators not working in that Crusader showroom. Separate, different issue from that one, though, where you push the buttons and they never come. However, one of them always works. So it's sort of okay. I push all 4 buttons or whatever, beep, 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 and one of them will work. Now, there's a load of little fixes in the PTU. One of them is that elevators have a fail-safe that go, this elevator has been called or hasn't responded for 60 seconds, and then resets it.
Okay, cool.
I know. Why didn't I have that when they first made the game?
What happens if there's somebody in the elevator?
I think reset might mean if it's unresponsive. So if they'd be trapped in it anyway. Maybe it will port them. Maybe it can't get unresponsive if there's a player in them. I don't know is the answer to that, Sin. As long as it doesn't catapult me out or something. Hopefully it just teleports you to the one of the doors that you were at previously. Or just teleports you inside wherever the reset position for the elevator is. Maybe a question mark. That's a really good point. So the Siege of Orison has ended, but you can expect it to probably start up again as soon as they put these improvements in, because there's loads of little tweaks they've made to the Siege of Orison as well, with timings and criminal ratings and stuff like that. And I'm looking forward to doing a busy Siege of Orison event on a weekend where lots of people are able to get in, sort of like 75 plus, and sort of all experience it together in a bit of sort of like a chaotic mess. Because the last time me and Zin played it, I think there were probably like 20 players doing it at the same time with us.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a weird one, because I feel like you don't want too many people, because then you don't get a chance to do anything. But then you don't want too few people, because you don't get anything done. Yeah,
there's a sort of critical mass, which I think is probably about 30-ish people, if that,
or
20 organised people. Like if you were organised and all on comms.
20 people who know what the hell they're doing.
Well, yeah, I think sort of like if you were calling locations that you were searching and stuff like that, I think that would be a lot more fun. There's some secret objectives as well, Sin, that we have not completed even when we've seen them.
I mean, 1, I wouldn't know about them because they're secret. 2, I wouldn't have known it because obviously they're secret. What?
So one of them, for example, is there are little laptops set up with Crusader being hacked by the Ninetales. And if you turn them off, they give you a bonus. Give everyone that's involved in the event a bonus. So there are reasons to search places even if there aren't lieutenants, though.
I mean, I found myself searching places for lieutenants and finding no lieutenants.
Yes, indeed. We do a relatively good search of the buildings. But we've seen the laptops, and I at the time just...
Have we?
Yeah, well, there have definitely been laptops out that I believe are the... secrety.
I'm going to have to go back through the footage now because I don't remember seeing.
Yeah. There's also other little scenes and secrets and Easter eggs and lots of stuff going on with the Ninetales lockdown and not Ninetales lockdown. That's connected to the Ninetales lockdown, Siege of Orison. So people should get involved. People should try it out. I do wish there was a building you could capture and then people could spawn there. That would be cool. Yeah,
that would be cool.
And it works because it's sort of running out of ships or running out of time that should be the major issue. And I do wish that there was a better medical facility there for healing the traumatic head wounds and other things that Sin may suffer. Although last time we played, I got a level 1 head wound. And
you got
was
level
able,
3?
No, the tier 1.
No, it's tier 3.
Isn't tier 3 the high one?
No.
I got a tier 3 one. You're right.
Yeah.
I got myself mixed up. I got a tier 3 one and then... was able to heal it at one of the like low tier medical beds, which that's useful. It is cool. It is useful. Obviously, if you're hungry or thirsty as well, you can go there and just IV yourself effectively.
Or loot one of the crates for food and water.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that people go, "Oh, I'm going to go loot a crate." Just stand out in the open looting.
Is that a dig at me?
That is a dig at you. Yes, That's your natural state. You're quite tactical and sensible. Then as soon as something happens to break that, you're like, huh? Just in the middle of lots of gunfire. So, bam, 3.17.2. Hopefully updates coming later this week. And for the 3.18's in, when are we getting it? When are we getting it?
Oh,
Yeah?
6 months' time?
Oh, that's rough. That's not what I wanted at all. So, Amber 3.18 is the next major patch. It's got salvage, it's got the cargo refactor, it's got persistent entity streaming, it's got a huge host of other sort of features and gameplay area things. And is there anything in particular excited feature-wise for 3.18's in? Is there something like particular that grabs you?
Probably the salvage.
Okay, salvage, the looting of the corpse.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. There's a lot of cool stuff coming there. I mean, the fact that I'm going to be able to use my reclaimers turrets, cool. File stripping, I think that's pretty exciting. There's a huge amount of mission content and sort of updated gameplay area for 3.18 as well. They're reactivating security post Korea, for example. Like I say, reactivating it. They're making it much more of a hot zone with security forces there and missions to go there much more and sort of like drop off evidence and lots of things like that. So that'll be really interesting to see. But also, those Siege of Orison platforms and more platforms around Orison are getting gameplay content with bounties, assassinates, clear, I think, pick up and delivery missions as well, all sort of around that area. And I think we're getting the go-karts as well. What?
The go-karts?
Yeah, the Star Karts. They're go-karts, aren't they? The PTV Xenon Eye buggies.
Thank you.
God damn it. But yeah, there's a load of content there. Like they're updating prisons. I think there's sand caves. They're putting more rivers around. There's the 600i and is it the Mercury Star Runner as well as crash sites and derelicts?
Yeah.
Yeah, huge amount of content there. There could even be more content. Is there anything else that you think they should be putting in 3.18, or is that sort of enough? Is that sort of actually if they try and expand beyond that, that's going to be it's PTU phase for too long?
I mean, I think they should put everything that they can, but
okay,
they obviously don't have everything to put in yet.
So obviously we haven't started Evocati testing of 3.18 yet.
They haven't yet.
No, they should start.
This is an outrage.
This is an outrage. They should start pretty soon though. I'm thinking this month. Still, hopefully. We do know that this is going to be a pretty long PTU cycle, 2 to 3 months. I'm thinking more, it's actually going to be closer to 3 months, if not longer. I think it's also possible that we might not see a 3.19 patch this year because 3.18 will sort of expand into its time slot.
I'm very much doubting we're going to get 3.18 this year.
What?
Yeah.
You cray girl.
I mean, it's not even in Evocati testing. It's going to take a long time, like before it even goes to PTU. We've got 4 months left in the year. So,
well, when Zin says PTU, she means wider PTU, sort of first wave.
Yeah.
I think we'll get it this year, but I don't think we're going to see a 3.19 this year. But I suppose time will tell. And I suppose it literally depends on how successful the tests are. Is persistent entity streaming just a ball ache and causes too many problems and they're going to need to test it for ages? That's a possibility. But actually, I didn't even consider that we might not get 3.18 by the end of the year. Because I'm an optimist, Zin.
That's my thought on it. I don't think we're going to get it, at least not live by the end of the year.
Okay, it's certainly a possibility. I think we'll see it by the end of the year, but I do think that we're not going to see any other patches other than 3.18 live if we've been good. It's pretty much now. Some other stuff that we know sort of not coming in 3.18. They talked about weapon meta and stuff like that recently and sort of variants of components. Don't expect to see any more variants of components in 3.18. They're not going to be changing weapon meta too much either. There's basically been loads of threads about slow weapons are just bad at the moment because it's not so firing necessarily, but slow travelling projectiles because they don't hit anything and the sort of pips for them just go mad. And Cloud Imperium saying, look, slow travelling projectiles are typically supposed to be used against slow ships or large ships or both. And then faster travelling weapons are obviously more for dogfighting typically. But it is down to what works for you. But don't expect any changes to that, or at least not very many in 3.18. They specifically not having variance changes, not having weapon changes at the moment because it saves on development time because then they don't need to balance everything repeatedly. They're going to do a big balance later in the year, later next year sort of thing. Do you think that's sort of fair, or do you think that because they run a live environments in, they should actually try and balance and give more variance to stuff like this?
No, I think it's fair. Basically, it's essentially like they've said, they're just wasting time constantly balancing things, changing things when they're only going to have to do it again later down the line when something else changes or a new ship comes along or something else happens.
Yeah.
The game is in alpha. It's not anywhere near complete, so stop treating it like a complete game.
Well, but the problem is that Cloud Imperium treat it like a released product a lot of the time. And so they do have a released and live version of the game running, which then sort of requires balance and requires that extra time to get into a state that means that you can play it.
I don't agree.
Okay. I mean, is that not what they're doing at the moment?
I don't care what they're doing at the moment. I think they need to view it as an alpha game that they need to develop rather than viewing it as a completed game.
I agree with that. That should be their primary goal. Most of their sort of effort should be spent on progressing the game to the point where they can release the full live build.
Yeah.
But I think that part of their monetization model and part of their hype for Star Citizen and part of the way they sort of market it and everything is that they also maintain this sort of live alpha build and its development as a service, which is a really weird concept, and hopefully very few companies do it because it works kind of with Star Citizen's environment, but I don't think it would work in a lot of others. It's one of the weirder quirks of Star Citizen. But I love Star Citizen, don't get me wrong, but I am in agreement with Zin there that actually the focus should be on getting more out, getting the game finished, rather than maintaining the live product. People in the comments, feel free to have a differing view from us. We talk about what we think, and that's all we can talk about. Bam, bam, bam. Power relays in.
Yes.
Why am I excited about power relays?
I don't know.
So power relays...
I don't understand why you're excited about them.
Power relays represent something very important for the game, which is sort of engineering and the rise of physicalized components, which I've wanted to be in the game, expected to be in the game since 2017. So it's super important, physicalized components, because that means that when you get shot in the actual place that you've got hit, and that damages your component and your hull, but it doesn't cause damage to an artificial health pool of your ship. So once your hull of an area is destroyed, your ship explodes. That's what currently happens. In the future, if you get hit in your shield generator and actually penetrates and damages the shield generator, well, that's taken damage, that system. If you take damage in like a power relay or a connection between two systems, well, that connection might be severed between them, and those power relays can be turned on and off, and they sort of link systems around the ship and move power and resources between them. And I love the idea of being on a large capital ship, or even a medium-sized ship, and running around and repairing things. And I just think it's cool. I just think it's super important. It's the start of damage control and multi-crew gameplay properly, because at the moment, multi-crew gameplay is, oh, I'm in a turret.
You're flying a ship and everybody else is in a turret.
Yeah. And you want a load of other roles, and loads of other roles that aren't just being in charge of a console. So you want those engineers running around and changing subcomponents, changing components out, repairing these power relays. So it's not just power relays, it's sort of like the whole connectivity of the systems. It's building into physicalized components. At the moment, they're just building it out with the Hammerhead. But next year, and they said next year is when they're going to have it in game. So I'm assuming that's going to be in our hands rather than just in the dev branch next year. That is an assumption, but I assume that's what they meant. And I hope it's going to be more than just the Hammerhead. Well, I suppose we'll have to wait and see. I get hyped about a lot of stuff, and then I get sad.
Don't get hyped.
Don't get hyped.
No.
Get sad, don't get hyped. Just
expect it to be terrible, and then when it's good, you'll be happily surprised.
Yeah, that's I suppose that's fair. Like, I was expecting 3.18 to have a lot less in it. It looks like it's got pretty good, but I'll hamper my expectations because it might be the rest of the year for 3.18. I was pretty happy with 3.17.2 because that actually over-delivered for me with a load of its content, because it went, actually, this patch has got quite a lot in it. And I very much enjoyed the Siege of Orison. Later this week, we've got a roadmap update. Hopefully that's going to give us some more 3.18 information. Are you expecting them to try and fit anything more into 3.18, or just like maybe we're going to actually see some things slip?
Oh, I have no idea. Things are likely to slip. They generally do, but we might get something that we weren't expecting. You never know. You don't know. Yeah,
very, very likely to get some sort of ship or vehicle as well that they haven't announced yet in that patch. Inside Star Citizen this week, we've got Security Base Korea and Glacier Prison updates. and lots of mission feature stuff, as we mentioned earlier. That's 3.18's got a load of stuff in it at the moment, so it'd be nice to see some of the actual details of what they got planned there. We've got an all-vehicle Q&A later this week, so I think that's just going to be questions about the development of ships rather than ship features, although it might be ship features as well, because ship features would be something like modularity, salvage, physical components, that sort of stuff, whereas if it's just about the development of ship, it will be individual ships like, tell me about the Corsair, tell me about the Battle Merchantman, things like that, which I think they could easily do a Q&A on individual ships and fill the questions there. So go check out the threads for that if you want to get involved. Ship Showdown, get involved with that. Tell us what you think about who you would be voting for. Do you think it's fine to have meme ships and vehicles sort of get to the top? Because, if people want to vote for that, cool. Are you excited for Alpha 3.17.2 improvements coming? What do you think of the Siege of Orison? What did you think of the Siege of Orison overall, Zin?
I really enjoy it. Even when we run out of time and fail the mission.
Me and Zin together have yet to complete the Siege of Orison.
Properly, yeah.
Yeah.
We've been there when somebody else has done it.
Yeah, we have not been in the party that killed Mendo Ren and then closed down the final iffy on the barge. But we will. We'll get that footage. We'll get that joy, hopefully one day. Also, we do need to get a load of gameplay on sort of like the Reclaimer settlements and Ghost Hollow and the AI dropships and all that sort of stuff. Because there's loads of cool stuff in 3.17.2 that I sort of want to talk about loads more. But we'll do that when we're actually showing it in gameplay. Anyway, say goodbye, Zin.
Goodbye, Zin.
Thanks very much for watching. Give us an idea of what you want us to call the podcast. And if you've got any other suggestions for content or stuff that you want us to talk about, then chuck it in the comments below. Love you. Bye. You're on a plane. It's about to crash. Maybe you're in a jungle and a vicious predator attacks. There's a nuclear war and you're caught short on the toilet. You're drowning in shark-infested waters. How did you get here? What do all these scenarios have in common? That's right. Easily preventable with the use of nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. It's like the ultimate survival toolkit, but to aid in internet security and accessibility. Now I can watch my favourite Netflix and anime shows from a different country while I'm lost in the rainforest just before a tiger eats me. Thanks, nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. You can get discounts by using the links below. But please note that probably in the case of a plane crash or, you're drowning, NordVPN might not be the most effective solution. Every month we have a Star Citizen ship giveaway. This month we're giving away an RSI Scorpius heavy fighter. This 2-seater powerful heavy fighter allows you to pretend you're in Star Wars with your X-Wing. It comes with a lifetime insurance and access to Star Citizen, so even if you haven't got a Star Citizen account already, you can play the game. To be in for a chance of winning that, just comment on any of my videos made during August. A massive thank you to everyone that subscribed to the channel or just watches my content or comments and likes and shares those videos. It really genuinely does help. And if you want to go the extra mile to help support the channel, you can click on the join button under any of my videos or click on the links to Patreon. It all goes a huge way to help the channel grow and expand. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great time in Alpha 3.17.2 and I hope to see you in the verse.